Hey, it's Gila Nehemia. Just popping in today. I wanted to say hello to you on this beautiful day here in Israel. It's nice and cool, and I hope you can see me well. I'll try to stay out too much of the sunlight. Moving around, seeing my house. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about shame. I've really been thinking about it, and I've had a couple of interviews recently, and that both with Laura and with Mara, and it came up, the whole concept of shame, and I think it's shaped our lives, many of us, in terms of our patterns and in terms of our unfulfillments with what's happening with ourselves. So I thought it would be important to discuss it. Personally, I felt like some of the things that I've always desired, I felt like I couldn't have it, and it was because it seemed unacceptable, either by my family or the religion I was in, or there are a number of different reasons, and I don't think it's necessary to really say, but it's perpetuated by where you're living, your culture, the teachers in school. It's like that. It was a dream also of when I was growing up to have a house with a white picket fence, and I remember as a child, like, that's what I wanted. It was like I told my parents, like, this is what I want. But I realize now, and I used to feel shameful when I didn't have it. That is the thing, there's nothing wrong with wanting something, to live, the quote-unquote American dream. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But what I do think that something is wrong is if you don't have it, then therefore you are less than. And that's where I think that the logic is faulty. It's like, if you don't have the good job, then you can't have a good life, or if you don't get the right education, then you can't have a good life. And I think that's still perpetuated to some extent in many countries, but I don't believe that to be true. Especially now as an entrepreneur, seeing other and learning about other entrepreneurs that didn't have the education that I have, that were able to go from zero to be very successful, and that doesn't necessarily mean in dollars or money, but it includes money. And that's a huge inspiration to me, to see an artist, a writer, a musician making it from a place of nothing. We just saw a movie by Eminem. Those people that follow it, my son actually wanted to see it, and it does have a lot of curse words, but it was totally beneficial, and I've been meaning to talk about it because it just meant so much to learn what was his background, where was he coming from, and then I actually listened to his songs, and I was like, wow, like I have just more of an appreciation. And we learned that the movie wasn't exactly representative of his life, but the idea was that was part of his upbringing. That was where he did come from, and how he then propelled himself to go someplace else. And I just want to share a scene from that, because I think it might speak to some of you. That there was a scene where, from in the beginning of the movie, he was choked up, he couldn't rap, even though he had these great ideas, and he's a writer, so that was how I related to him, because he wrote his songs, what he was going to say. And then, and towards the end of the movie, he got the courage to actually rap in front of people, because in the beginning he got choked up when he was in front of the audience, and then by the end of the movie he overcame that. So it's really kind of it's a great symbol of releasing the old pattern and embodying the new story. He embodied the new story that led him to a deal, that led him to then the whole rest of his life of being successful. And that's not to say that there still aren't old patterns to be released. And I really do want to share that, because part of coming, part of the old pattern is due to shame. It's due to why do I feel a little bit scared all the time to come in front of everyone, is because wow, I'm talking about old patterns, I'm talking about desire, and I'm a woman, how is that going to look? I was all about my childhood was all about what image am I portraying, instead of what I believe now, who am I? Am I really ready to step out into myself, live that new story, regardless of the repercussions, regardless of what anybody's going to say to me? And I would say the latter. Yes, I am ready to step out. And I want each and every one of you to think about that statement for yourselves. What does it mean for you to step out of the old story that you are perpetuating? Does that include shame of possibly leaving a domestic situation that seems on the outside to be good, but you know inside it's not working for you? Or that job that you toil hours and hours to do, but you don't receive a lot from it in terms of satisfaction, or maybe in terms of monetary gain. Just to be really truthful to yourself. And is stepping out going to, are you going to feel a little bit of shame around it? Like, you know, I'm a mother and I'm an entrepreneur and I have 3 kids and I have to feed them and I have animals, you know, do I feel some shame around, not being worthy, not being good enough, not doing the right thing, and not going to the job that doesn't really fuel my soul? And to be honest, yeah, I do. But you know what that story is? It's an old pattern that I am breaking out of by doing this every day, by coming to you live, by telling my story. I'm letting go of the old pattern. So that's a point of my 5-day challenge. It's going to be, on August 12th, and that I invite you to join. That I'll put the link in below. You know, these ideas of shame from religion, from, you know, your background, from your family, of what it means to be, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a child, how you're supposed to behave. I believe if we really lived by our passions, we would be a more loving society. You know, I truly believe that. Because, you know, I used to tell my coworkers I have a dream that everybody lives by their passion and they don't have to go to a building and work. And wow, what a beautiful society that would be. Because we can then, you know, even pay each other for the skills that we need from another person, because they're doing what they love. And, you know, money is it's just a currency. It's energy. It's an energy exchange. I am giving you something that you deserve for giving me something. And it's a way for us to be comfortable. It's a way for us to have what we want and to go after our desires. So none of it is bad. There is really no shame around anything you desire. I really want you to just think about, feel into that there is no shame for anything you desire. And if you are feeling shame, if you are having feelings about doing something and you're not sure, and it could be anything, you know, and then I would invite you to speak with somebody about it, you know, to talk to me if you feel comfortable doing that, because I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve you. This is my divine mission in life, to help you to live your highest potential. My real message is to use your desire to fuel your own spiritual and sexual fulfillment. Because we're on this earth, we are, you know, spiritual beings and we are earthly beings. And how do we combine that to really live this life of bliss? That's my biggest message. So I wanted to just remind you that there really is no shame around your desires. All your desires are real, and all your desires are divinely guided for you. And if there are any questions, you know, please pose them. I'm more than willing to discuss this. Whether you feel comfortable putting comments or messaging me in private, I'm really open to conversation. I'm open to learning. I'm open to gaining higher insight, because I believe we all have wisdom, and I'm here to share mine, and I'd love you to share yours. So if any of this is resonating with you, you know, join the 5-day challenge. We have a group of women who are joining, and I'm talking to them on a daily basis before the actual challenge begins. So I would encourage you to join. It's a safe, sacred container for you to express the challenges that you're currently facing, and we will together step out and live our new stories. So thank you so much for watching. Any of you watching the replay, thank you. I'm very, very grateful for all of you that have taken the time to watch what I have to say and have responded. So thanks again.